Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Zara and I'm going to be taking you through the astrology of Saturn in Aries. The warrior era is here, and also what it means for your sign. So we will be getting into Saturn in Aries, basically what it means overall, the history of Saturn in Aries, and then what it means for all 12 signs. Now, if you'd like to work with me and book a reading, you definitely can. There will be a link down below in the description box. But let's get into the astrology of Saturn Aries. This is a very exciting time. We have Saturn Aries from February 13, 2026 until the 12th of April, 2028. Now, we did experience Saturn Aries in 2025 from May of 2025 until the 1st of September 2025. So we have had a taste of this energy, but now we are going to get into the meat of it all. This is the warrior area. This is the era where we stand up for ourselves. And even in your personal life, this is Aries. Aries is a fire sign. It's cardinal energy ruled by Mars. Mars is the god of war. Saturn, the planet of time, karma, discipline, hard work, is here to help us learn the hard lessons. What is interesting to note about these times and the energy, Saturn is a malefic planet, so it does bring hardship. Mars is also a malefic planet, and Aries is ruled by Mars. And Saturn is not at all comfortable in the sign of Aries. It is in its fall weakest position. Saturn is in its exaltation in Libra. It prefers to be there, loves it in Libra. In Libra, it's more about logic, discipline, and justice. In Aries, we tend to want to act first, rage first, explode first, do it first, and not have a strategy. Whereas Saturn's all about a strategy. So when Saturn is in Aries, and also the effect of Aries. Aries is about self. You must know one thing for sure. Saturn is very much a planet that is associated with the people. It's associated with the people, right? It is a people planet. It brings hardship, lessons, maturity, growth, rules time. That's why we can experience loss of life during a Saturn transit, especially if you're going through a Saturn return, a Saturn square, a Saturn opposition, or restriction, some grief, because Saturn is that loss as well, especially. So with that being said, let's discuss how Saturn is a people planet. Now, Saturn is ruled, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, okay? And what is Capricorn about? It's about the world. It's about your dreams, ambitions, authority figures. It's about governments, associations, connections. It is about people. It's not at home, it's the world. Capricorn rules what you strive for in the world, the connections you make. Yes, the hands you shake to get on top, to success. That is Saturn. There's a certain amount of je ne sais quoi associated with Saturn. Saturn might be restrictive, it might be discipline and hard work, but I gotta know the right people to get where I wanna be. Now, Aquarius, especially in traditional astrology, is ruled by Saturn. In modern astrology, it's Saturn and Uranus. And what does Aquarius rule over? Humanity. All of us, humanity, the collective, the friend group, the various groups you choose to associate with via choice. The work group, the hobby group, the family group. Yes, you made that choice to be there. The job you're working at, all those people, yes, that's all Aquarius. Yes, you applied for the job there. Aquarius is your personal autonomy where you choose your community. It is our sense of community, online and in person. See how Saturn plays this role of connection. It's got nothing really about to do with self. It's about the hands you shake to get to where you want to be. That's why it's governments, collaborations, Aquarius, collaborations, networking, right? The people who support you, your community, that's all Saturn. The structures you put in place to have that sense of community. And then Saturn loves to be in Libra. And what do we know about Libra? Libra is a people sign. It's your one-on-one relationships. It's your connections. It is the work, the discipline you put into those connections. Yes, relationships take work. When you sign that contract at work, very Libra energy, you signed up for that partnership to work to get paid. Very Libra. The friends that you keep, yes, you signed up for that commitment. I'll be there, you'll be there. Okay? And if their friend isn't there, you ask yourself, is it worth it? These are the commitments we have to other people. And these commitments are, yes, commitments that we build our lives upon. And some of those commitments help us advance. The associations and the connections allow you to sign the contracts that lead to your success. So get this, Saturn is very much a people planet. It needs people to work. Otherwise, right? It needs people to enforce rules and regulations. Saturn does well in Libra because Libra rules justice and fairness. The scales. Think about Libra. Libra is the only sign that is ruled by a physical object, basically. Scales of justice. Libra is karmic. And Saturn is karmic. So it's like, yes, you did this. This is what you get. It's fair. That's it. Got nothing to do by anything else. It's fair and square. That's it. You did this, you get that. You did this, you get that. You didn't do this, you lose that. Very, very fair. Okay? It's rigid. Just like the scales. Exactly. That's why it loves to be in Libra, because there's order amongst the associations. There are these associations and connections, the contracts. So you had to network, you had to connect to the right people, but Libra seals the deal. And Libra is justice and fairness. When it's unfair and unjust, you pay the price. Very much Saturn. No. So, okay, so it's about people paying the price, and it's about people being fair, and it's about the people you know. Why does it suck to be in Aries? Because when it's in Aries, the responsibility is on you. The associations and connections feel harder to attain. When Saturn is in Aries, it doesn't know what to do because it's not so logical. Capricorn is still very much a logical, practical sign. Aquarius is all air and logic. Libra, logic. Think this through before you act. Aries is act first, think later. Saturn here is now acting out, and Saturn is harsh. So the harshness comes quick. It's all in your face. People just bulldozing you over. This is also lack of connection. We forget that we need each other to survive. Yes, big deal. We need each other to survive. We just push ahead. Okay? And this creates a lot of tension and frustration because now we kind of push each other down. We're climbing on top of each other. This is why it's in its detriment. We forget that we need each other. And this is why in Saturn transits, there can be so many acts of violence. There can be so many acts of violence and oppression and abuse because two malefics coming together is not an easy aspect. So Saturn will be operating through a malefic planet. So even when Mars is in your chart becomes important. Okay? Your own Mars. Because now people will be riling you because Saturn is in Aries. Mars is the opposing planet. So this is where it's playing out to. Through anger, frustration, and how you take action. And how do you stay motivated? Are you a procrastinator? The thing about Aries, it starts lots of things, but it doesn't complete it, right? It starts. Does it complete things? No. So Saturn's going to be working on us on how to complete projects, how to complete our goals. But we won't be able to have it easy where someone can help us. So now the responsibility will be on ourselves. And in a way, it could be a good thing because this is very self-made. But it doesn't come easy, and it comes through sometimes experiencing cruelty. Saturn Aries generation experience cruelty. Cruelty, verbally, mentally, emotionally, and sadly sometimes even physically. This is where people can be very cruel, including within their homes and their environments. This is aggressive energy. This is where growing up in an environment where people don't know how to handle anger or aggression. And it came out in destructive ways. Through addiction, through temper tantrums, through manipulation, through harsh words, harsh treatment, forgetting that a home is a community too. Okay, because Saturn here, the lessons are heavy. It's very heavy, feeling stuck, stagnant, like you're unable to attain success because no one wants to help. Everybody just seems unhelpful. Okay, unless you got something else going on in your chart that can help you with help. Help becomes challenging. You feel alone, you feel isolated, you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. You were asked to grow up real quick. So what are we going to be asked, since this is Saturn Aries and this generation are going through their Saturn return? We are going to be asked to grow up real quick. Real quick. Become independent real quick. Have boundaries and become a soldier real quick. Someone push your boundaries, because we will be pushing each other's boundaries. We will be aggressors. Learning to say no and standing in our power will be our biggest lesson. This is why it is our warrior energy. What are you prepared to fight for? What are you prepared to hold your ground for? What are you prepared to say no for? And where do you give your power away? This is Saturn Aries. It's not here to play games. It's heavy, it's intense. It's one of the hardest Saturn transits. Because Saturn, in its weakest position, finds it hard. It needs people. Now, it's just relying on Aries, which is thyself. The pressure, the intensity, the isolation, the depression. The depression because I always got to do it by myself. There's no helping hand. These people tend to feel isolated, only child, alone. And this is how we go through Saturn Aries. We feel alone. Now. Don't you ever forget that there's a remedy to every problem. And when a planet is doing this week, what is the remedy? The sister sign, Libra. Find your helping hand. Be diplomatic, logical, think things through. Use finesse to get what you want. You might think bulldozing people over is the way, but no, Saturn here is trying to show us why this is not the way. In fact, we only will be dealt with harsh karmic lessons. And because Saturn is in its weakest position, the karma intensifies. It intensifies. It's heavier. It's harder to find the help to get you through. So, do the right thing and embrace the Libra qualities. Remember peace, sovereignty, still maintain your autonomy. Don't lose yourself to the battle, but your peace should be the focus. Logic, think things through. Try to discuss it. If there's no discussion, we have a boundary. Cross that boundary, it's over. Right? Be like Libra. Finesse your way out of it. Get the things done. See who you can talk to. You never are truly alone. There is someone, whether it's online or watching a video of someone you talk to, wherever, connection will be key to your success. Even though Saturn is in Libra and you will have to go it alone, I promise you the remedy will be connection. The remedy will be thinking about others. Yes, but thinking obviously of yourself. Don't lose yourself and like forget about yourself. That is not what I'm saying. A lot of people think when I say think about others in this circumstance, you're going to learn that you are important too. Your needs, your passions, your desire, but it should not come at the expense of others. What does that mean? It means that you shouldn't be tramping on others to get ahead. And this is not people pleasing. Do not step on other people to get ahead. Stay in your lane, do your thing. Don't procrastinate, get it done. Seek support. There's always a place of support. We will see a rise in violence domestically within homes. We will see a rise in violence within protests. We can even see wars with this energy. It is an energy where we see brutality to its utmost. So when you have Saturn Aries, you had to be strong from a really young age, because this is that energy that really gets riled up in terms of a suppressed anger. Saturn will suppress the anger, then explodes. And this is what you witness within loved ones, within homes, with families and people trying to come for you. Breathe, Saturn Aries generation. You got this. We all make it through our Saturn returns and Saturn squares and oppositions, and so can you. Saturn tests us, it grows us, it matures us, and we feel a lot older after the transit, but the wisdom we gain remains a part of our soul for eternity. Saturn in Aries and its history. So I will be looking down for the dates at my notes in front of me, but this is potent and powerful, and this is when the world is forced to grow up. So think about that when it comes to your natal chart, because it's where you're forced to grow up. It's where you're forced to embark on this warrior energy, and where you feel like you gotta go it alone. But you don't need to, remember? Because what's the opposite sign? Libra. So seek where Libra is in your natal chart for the harmony and peace, for the cooperation. It will be the part of your chart that will be dealing with an opposition from Saturn, so it's not so easy to seek that support. But you can do it. I'd even look to the Aquarius energy within the natal chart to seek support, because Aquarius energy within your natal chart will be more in a harmonious aspect compared to the Libra energy in your natal chart. That will be more in opposition, and the Capricorn would be in a square tension with resistance, but opportunity can come through. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about it now. Whenever Saturn moves into Aries, humanity enters a cycle of reckoning around leadership, courage, war, identity, and accountability. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It represents beginnings, pioneers, initiation, fighters. It is potent, it is powerful. It is primal energy at its very beginning. There's something raw and powerful about Aries fire energy. And if you know an Aries, trust me, you see it. Saturn's a planet of karma, consequences, responsibility, and maturity. When Saturn enters into Aries, we don't get gentle growth. We get forced initiation. Yes, I push you into the fire. Fight for yourself. That is it. It is the flames that make you stronger. That is Saturn. Saturn's not kind. It does what is necessary to get you to where you need to be. And sometimes it's painful. But you know what? You come out with those burn marks and you remember the wisdom, okay? The battle you fought. Because this is the energy of Saturn Aries. It's not like Saturn Pisces. Pisces was all about letting go emotionally, endings, and emotional growth. Saturn Aries is warrior growth. You fight your battles, your courage, your accountability. Who are you? Who are you and what do you stand for? Okay? So history shows us that Saturn Aries brought collapse of false leaders, the exposure of corruption, the birth of radical new movements, as well as cultural rebellions, and moments that permanently reshape collective identity and how we move forward. So Saturn Aries, we're going to be looking at 1996 until 1999. So if you're born during this time, you're going through your Saturn return. Collective grief at death of icons, right? In 1997, Princess Diana, Mother Teresa died within days of each other. That was a heavy time. Okay, it was emotionally heavy, right? Two very different figures, one royalty, one humanitarian, yet both symbolize compassion, service, and suffering of humanity. And the important thing is world leaders, people that we looked up to, we identified or put on this, pedestal. We did it with Princess Diana, we did it with Mother Teresa, we looked up to them. Aries energy is that where we look at someone, just that person. There can be a whole lot of royal family, but we're looking to that person. There can be a lot of, energy of humanitarian people, but we are looking to that one person. Okay, so these two figures stood out, and that brought loss within their lives. And that was about us learning about humanity and, and about caring for our fellow man. It brought deep grief. These deaths triggered worldwide mourning and forced conversations. The treatment of women in powerful systems. Media exploiting people. Poverty. Human responsibility. The responsibility you and I have for us as a collective. And, poverty, Saturn is very much for the poor. It shows us poverty. It also rules over poverty, where people don't have much. Saturn Aries exposes the cost of broken systems. Public scandal, moral reckoning. So we saw President Clinton's impeachment, trial exposed abuse of power, secrecy, ethical collapse inside the highest office. This wasn't just about one person. It was Saturn Aries' lesson about leadership and integrity. Big deal. Okay? If you hold power, you hold accountability. No exceptions. You're the leader. We look to you. So hold yourself to a certain level of standard and accountability. Law around war crimes, guns, public health. In 1996, War Crimes Act strengthened accountability for violations of the Geneva Convention. Okay. At the same time, we saw tobacco advertising face major restriction, gun control debates intensified, youth violence became a national focus. And this was predominantly Saturn Aries brings consequences to actions that previously went unchecked. How are these things making us behave? Big questions. A new kind of storytelling also was born during this time. In 1999, we saw the Blair Witch Project was released, low budget, raw, unpolished, psychological. You know, the thing about this film, it changed cinema forever. Saturn Aries births new forms of self-expression that feels rebellious, stripped down, raw. The more raw you are, the more, painfully raw, the less you have, the more you succeed. Low budget. This is very much independent filmmaking. This is very much cutting edge. Think about it. That is Mars. Mars rules over sharp objects, cutting edge as well. When things are cutting edge, that's Mars. Raw, short, simple, sweet, done. Okay, Saturn Aries in 1967 until 1969. Okay, now we look back at another cycle. So if you were born during 1967 and 1969, you're going through your Saturn return. Assassination of revolutionary leaders. Martin Luther King Jr., as well as Robert F. Kennedy, were assassinated. Think back, Princess Diana, Mother Teresa, people that we look up to, people who humanity really look up to. Both men represented courageous leadership, progressive vision, and systems of change. Their deaths shattered illusions of safety and forced the public to confront how violently the status quo resists transformation. Right? Saturn Aries shows us what happens when power moves and threatens systems. Mass protests, revolution. Okay, millions of people marched against Vietnam War. Radical injustice, government corruption. Young people became political. The youth. Aries is the youth. Aries is that energy. They became loud. We make a noise. We bold. We're not afraid. Can you hear my voice? This is the energy of Saturn Aries. It's untamed. I don't care what you think. I'm going to use my voice to talk about what I want. That's Saturn Aries. I'm going to use my body. I'm going to protest. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to be the change I want to see in the world. Saturn and Aries. What matters to you? Find that. And that's it. And focus on that. They became loud. They became organizers. Saturn Aries activates collective courage. Collective courage. We feel courageous. We aren't afraid. No matter what you do, no matter how much you persecute me, I still stand here. That is Saturn Aries. Vietnam War escalated moral collapse. As the war intensified, so did public outrage. We fight more. This is it. Saturn Aries shows us violence, injustice, corruption, oppression, poverty, assassination, loss of leaders, power dynamics, fights, brutality, violence. It's two malefics coming together. Saturn is malefic. Aries is ruled by Mars, a malefic planet. It's hard energy. It's not soft energy, so it hits you hard, that it knocks you off your feet so you can get up and stand your ground. That's Saturn Aries. It's poetic like that. The Vietnam War intensified. Televised warfare brought raw reality into living rooms. We see it. We see the brutality. It hits us. People could no longer look away. Saturn Aries removes denial. There is no more denial about the injustices to you, yourself, your life, your fellow human beings. It's clear. Cultural and sexual revolution. Artists like Jimi Hendrix became voices of the generation. Music, fashion, sexuality, gender expression exploded beyond traditional limits. This is about self-identity and how you want to identify. Got nothing to do with anybody. Aries is always about autonomy. I don't care what you think. I'm going to present myself the way I want to. And you're going to see there will be even violence against people who want to appear a certain way. That's what, see, Aries is, this is me. But because Saturn is in Aries, the harsh treatment you receive for being yourself and still having to be yourself anyways. And sometimes we can even see atrocious things happening to people who want to have their sexuality presented by the way they dress in a certain way. They want to put it out there, right? They're making a statement, because Aries is where we make a statement, but we receive harsh treatment for those statements. But then you become more aware through those harsh treatments and atrocities of what happened to people who put their identity out there, and we awaken to how come we cannot have autonomy in how we identify. It's political. It's very political. Saturn forces us to redefine it and what it means and our tolerance and how we can be more open-minded. It's not about just tolerating. It's about asking yourself, if it was you, who do you want harsh treatment for how you appear? Ask yourself these important questions as a culture and sexual revolution. And yes, Mars is a planet of, okay, it's physical intimacy in the bedroom. It's the act of itself. So think about that. This is where we decide to define our sexuality, what we wanted. And it's strong, bold, and fierce, and it's in your face. And we do see more crimes too. Crimes related to sexual violence. It's intense. This is Saturn Aries. It's not easy energy. Saturn is a malefic planet. It's hardship, it's pain, it's suffering. And Mars is blood, accents, warfare. It is the god of war. It's where we also become warriors and define our boundaries and motivation. And yes, it rules over the physical act that we do in the bedroom. Okay, so this is where we can see all of this. Where is violence? What type of violence? Physical, intimate type of violence. What do we stand for becomes a big theme. The pattern, every Saturn Aries cycle delivers leadership crisis, cultural rebellions, youth-driven movements, exposure of corruption, new definitions of identity, and courage. You need to be courageous to be you, regardless of who tries to define you. No matter what treatment you receive, you are you, embrace you. This is where we have to be courageous to be ourselves. These are not gentle errors. The intention is courage, right? It initiates courage. It's an initiation right too for humanity. What does it mean? All power structures will be tested. False leaders will fail or fall. New leaders will rise. People will no longer tolerate being silenced. Identity, gender, autonomy, sovereignty become central themes. This is not about comfort. This is about becoming an adult as a collective. We are growing up and we realize that we need to stand our ground. Saturn Aries asks one question: who are you when everything false is stripped away? And yes, whatever is false from your life will be stripped away. Whatever you identify with, that job, that relationship, that fake friend, whatever, the family member that it will be stripped away till you're raw by yourself and you can only hold what is authentic and true to you. It's a deep look into your heart and the passion and the desire within. And it shows you what is true and what is false and strips everything else away. Literally feels like it's burning it off of you. It hurts, but it matures you. And all you care about is raw realness. And that's what you want. That's what you desire. This is now your purpose and alignment. Hello, Aries. This is the start of a journey, February 13th until April 12th of 2028. Are you ready? Yes, you got a taste of it last year. Now, I'm not going to say that this is going to be an easy transit. People are going to test you, make you angry, frustrate you, come for you. This is Saturn Aries. It's open warfare on your identity and your goals, your ambitions. People try to stifle you. This is your personal initiation. This is your moment of maturity and growth. Why? Because before you were operating on pure impulse, right? Reacting, especially if you're in younger Aries. You know, as you get older, you learn that this can be very risky. But if you are embracing risk without assessing the damages first, this is Saturn Aries going to test you. This is going to show you where you're impulsive. This is going to test your rage limits too. It's people are going to anger you. But you need to learn this is Saturn. You need to be strategic about it, bold about it, firmer boundaries about it, and choose your battles wisely, because there'll be a lot of battles coming your way. This is Saturn Aries. People will be testing you. Family members, lovers, friends, anything false and real will be, that's unreal, will be stripped away so that what's real can remain. And let you be burnt away. This is Aries, and it hurts, but it's real to the core. This is going to give you the motivation, the action to stay focused on your goals. It's going to teach you that procrastination is your weakness. And the more you stay focused and the more you stay true to you and work on what truly matters to you, you will find success. Success only comes here when it's true to you. This is about your identity and how you see yourself. Anything that is not part of your identity, you will lose. This is about your success when it comes to your goals. But anybody or any situation that is standing in the way of that will fall away. This is about your truth. It's about your purpose. It's about self-discipline, emotional regulation, leadership through example. If you have done anything that lacks integrity, you best believe the world will see it for what it is. Saturn is a karmic sign. Integrity is something that needs to happen. And like, if you haven't been having that, if you've been having integrity, good for you. Saturn won't teach you this lesson where you are seen for the things that you do that are wrong. Right? And anyone that's wronged you, Saturn will bring that karmic energy to them, and they will also fall. And Saturn Aries is not an easy fall, because the fall from grace is very much so karmic. It's heavy, it's depressing, you lose your sense of self. So you might even feel during this transit like you're losing yourself, but you gotta lose yourself and cut away the dead weight to find yourself. And when you do, it's going to teach you that success can be yours when you don't just get angry, react, or procrastinate, or start a lot of projects and never finish them, or, focus just on yourself. It's going to teach you too to focus on others. Saturn is a people planet, okay? It is exalted in Libra, right? It's in its weakest position in Aries. The more you try to go it alone, the more isolated you feel. Find your people. They'll help carry the weight with you. We all have people. Even though I know this is going to feel like the most isolating time, because Saturn is in Aries, it's going to make us all feel like we're alone. And it's hard lessons. And it feels like the emotional weight is grief and people are coming for you. Stand in your power, stand your ground. You will learn to stand your ground in strategic ways, Saturnian ways, through boundaries. Through no back and forth and bickering, because that's a waste of time. And Saturn is a lot of time, so it'll show you where you waste your time. Anything that you do to waste time, procrastination, bickering, entertaining drama, okay? Just for the story or just for the law. This is where you learn that these things are not of value to you. You got to seek out what is value. Saturn is about that success. It's the ladder of success that we climb. But as we are climbing this ladder of success, we see everything that we have to release, because it's just weight making us move a lot slower. And you are a sign that's going to have to learn just this time, because Saturn is a slow planet, that slowing down is actually better than trying to move fast now. And as you slow down, you're going to look at things very differently and gain a whole new perspective. So when you're told no, just see it as Saturn redirecting you in the direction that's meant for you. And know what's taking time is basically going to be built on a stronger foundation. You're not failing. You're not getting anywhere. You are just learning a different route to build a solid foundation for your success. And when you get to 2028, whatever you're working on, whether it was meeting the love of your life, or whether that was getting that job or starting a business, but a lot of it's going to be about initiating new things in your life, whether it's a goal, a business, or completing a degree, something of success. That is what you're going to attain in this time. And when you do so, when you attain that level of success in 2028, be grateful for the lessons of Saturn. It tests you, it molds you, it breaks you, just so you can be reborn and restructured in a way that helps for a stronger foundation. Saturn does not take away what's already not weak. And Saturn can bring grief and it can bring loss. But it's through loss. Let me tell you something. If I can ever share any wisdom with you, grief and loss of a loved one makes you value time and your time on this planet, which is very short. more than ever. And it tells you, yes, mourn those that have been lost. But yes, live for those who have been lost. Live your life with joy, pleasure, and happiness. That is Saturn. Saturn is about living life. It's about time. The time is not endless. At any given moment, time can come to an end for any one of us. So remember that. And you start valuing your time and you start utilizing your time in ways that build your success and not strip you down. Right? Any addictions that you have, all will fall away. You will see how that you need to let that go. You need to go to rehabilitation. You need to seek out therapy to just get yourself on the right path. So if anything that you are doing to your body, to your spirit, that is, let's have fun, it's going to show you that this is not the only way. Follow through on your passion, but the passion that builds you towards success. Do comment your placements. I'd love to hear from you. Your birth chart is unique to you. Taurus, this is a quiet yet powerful transit. This is healing, closure, spiritual strength. You're going to embark on many endings, deciding to walk away from a lot of people. Hidden enemies are going to come to light. This is where the area of hidden enemies. This can be leaders. This can be males. This is going to be people that are aggressors, people who have anger towards you, projected anger, and boundaries are necessary. You're also going to see where you've had repressed anger over past traumatic experiences that you've held, that it's time to release. It's time to put the past to bed and walk away from the emotional weight of anger you've been carrying or frustration you've been carrying. Saturn moves through your subconscious, dissolving fears, karmic baggage, unconscious patterns, and the things that keep you stuck. You're going to spend more time alone than you ever thought you would, and you might find peace in you're being alone. This is hermit mode. You're going to heal past wounds in that time alone. You're going to spend time healing your physical body. You're going to see your health improve through rest, rejuvenation. You're going to release the old identity you had of how you thought you needed to be strong. You needed to be the soldier quietly for everyone. This is where you release that. You develop spiritual practices, meditation, psychic abilities, spiritual healing. Some of you might even seek out a therapist, a counselor. This is especially if things get bad. If you have any addictions, you will confront them. Television, spending, physical intimacy in the bedroom, drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be, gossip. Yes, those are bad habits. You want to kick a bad habit. This is the time. This is the time. It's preparing you. What's ending now has been draining you for years. It's karmic. It's a karmic closure you're going through. If it's a relationship, a job, something that comes to an end, it's karmic. It needs to be purged out of you so that you can truly identify and be set free from anything subconsciously you've been holding onto that you thought was keeping you strong. Okay, you're preparing for massive rebirth when Saturn enters into your sign in 2028. So think of this as like a spiritual boot camp. Your inner world becomes the blueprint for your success going forward. Yeah, you're going to find success privately. You're going to find success when you don't talk about what is going on with you. Seriously, and I mean, if you have an idea, if you have creativity, if you want to start something, stop sharing it with people. You shouldn't. This is Taurus energy, and Aries is in the back. So you get genius ideas. Your creativity is on point. You have new ideas and new things you want to start, new leadership roles you want to embark on, new things you want to do. Keep it secret till it happens. Only tell the people that you know you can trust. And because Scorpio is opposite you, we know you got ops, man. So keep things to yourself. Keep it private so you can grow it and flourish it in the realm of your subconscious. Let your imagination and your manifestation grow the possibilities of the seeds you are planting so that success can come to you, because Saturn is going to strengthen the success, the creativity, the genius ideas. Your intuition is going to be so on point. If you follow through in your intuition, success will lead you to open doors. Where is it going to influence? Your career. Your career can take off. You're going to meet partnerships that align to you. Okay, this is going to open successful opportunities. You can even expand and grow through travel, higher education, and freedom. Believe in yourself, Taurus. This is where sometimes in your subconscious you struggle with confidence. All of that will be brought to the surface to be released and let go of, so you can believe in who you are and all you're meant to be, and success will flow naturally. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Gemini, this is about community, your long-term goals, your future vision. This is Saturn helping you find your community. This means that you're going to be looking at your community. You're going to notice people you associated with, the work group, the family group, the hobby group, the running group, whatever group you were part of, is going to fall away. If they're not part of your community, they will fall away. Only communities that embrace your independence will stay. Your social world is under construction. You're going to see people within your community that are aggressors, that are bullies, maybe trying to push you back a little, right? Saturn is going to purge out friendships, networks, and collaboration. Surface level connections will fade, and soul aligned alliances will remain. It's going to push you forward. This means you'll be very aware of who has been keeping you stuck. You're going to be met with aggression. You're going to be met with bullies, and it's going to come in your social interactions. And you're going to be like, what is this about? Boundaries are necessary. Stand your ground. Cut them out. This is Saturn. Restrict out the people that are trying to stop you from your growth. You're being asked, who are your real people? Who are your community? What future are you building towards? You're going to see that your future vision is going to change of what you want for yourself, right? Leadership may be placed on your shoulders with communities, online platforms, or group spaces. It's about building strategic and purposeful connections, not chasing popularity. Your dreams become more concrete. It's not about popularity. It's about finding your community. This is going to be the community that you can connect to for years to come. Some of you might marry into a community, right? Because this is Saturn. Saturn is like, let's, come together. This is like you joining a new organization. This is you standing up for humanitarian cause. This is you starting an online platform. This is about you deciding to go online. This is about you starting a business for your future. This is about your independence, your autonomy, and you connecting in that way. You will be met with, like I said, aggression. It can be online and in person. This is where you're going to be met with those people who try to push your buttons, bully you, oppress you, try to stop you. This is where you're going to restrict them out. Stand your ground. You don't need to fight with them. This is Saturn. Stand your ground by cutting them loose. If they're not part of your future, why deal with them now in the present and fight with them? Don't waste your time. Move towards what is right for you. Cut them loose. Focus on you. This is where you're going to find aggression with your community too. Fights can happen. Your community can really, whatever it is, the family group, the hobby group, you're just going to notice that people are going to be pushing your buttons. You're going to be triggered through your community, but you're asked to stand strong in your sense of self. This will be vitally important for you. There's also a great period for expansion, growth, higher education, and travel. You can see a lot of opportunities coming through for travel, for higher education. This is a point in time, even when it comes to your work, more strategy when it comes to your work life, being disciplined and hardworking, finding the right collaborations and networks that allow for opportunities for work that stand the test of time. And it can be even foreign opportunities, people from foreign locations and the location that you were born in. Great time for higher education, for learning, for studying, for seeking out opportunities for your expansion and growth. Do comment your placements. I will respond to you down below in the comments. Cancer. Now, Cancer, this is going to be a test. It's going to be about your career, your reputation, your life direction, authority figures, parents, employers, or anyone in government, or anyone in authority over you. Yes, the person that sets the rules. So think about even government workers, government officials, authorities, employers, anyone that has to set the rules, parents, right? The person that sets the rules in your life. Even if you have a landlord, they become an authority figure automatically because now, hey, they basically set the rules and Sam's all about the rules. So here you're going to be tested the most, and you might find that authority figures come down on you harder than ever. That landlord all of a sudden is being aggressive. It's not working out. Maybe it could be an authority figure at work. Maybe your parents are also pushing your buttons a little bit more. People in authority tend to push you more. They expect more responsibility out of you all of a sudden. So boundaries are necessary. Remember that. This is defining your career and your reputation as well as your legacy. So if you are no longer working and you are retired, what will people talk about that you cease to exist? That's what this is about. It's your legacy. What's legacy? Legacy is where I'm no longer here. What do I leave behind? And what will people know me for? Is it going to be that beautiful garden of vegetables I grew, or will it be the humanitarian cause I fought for? Was it that I was a responsible family member and was always there to show support and wisdom and kindness to my family? What is it? That's your legacy. So don't just look at the 10th house or looking at your career as this one area, especially if you're Cancer rising. Cancer sun, this will apply to you too, but Cancer rising, it is your reputation. It is what people know you for. Your reputation, people talk about that. A lot of you will be stripped away from anything that is no longer needing to be a part of that reputation. So yes, some of you can even go through a divorce and separation, because when you are married, you introduce yourself as like, I am Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so. If that relationship is a point of conflict and tension, because this is Saturn Aries, you will dissolve it. If it is a responsible, mature relationship, it can work. It will show you the reality of your people that you associate with your reputation. And this can even create tensions and losses in your career. Okay, so you can notice that when it comes to your career, that if this career you've outgrown, it will fall away. Saturn demands that you take ambition seriously. No more drifting, no more underestimating yourself, right? Step into leadership, apply for that promotion, apply for that job that pays you more. Take on major responsibility, build a long-term career path. See, Capricorn's opposite you, ruled by Saturn, so partnerships. Might be tensions though with partnerships, so be prepared for that. But Aquarius rules over shared resources and investments, other people's money. And you have North Node there too. So you know what to do. Focus on your career and see where you can get more people to invest in you based on your skills and talents. And success will come your way. Redefine your public image. Redefine how you dress, how you show up in the world, how you represent yourself. This is about your responsibility. This is about becoming an authority in your own field and not letting other people define you. The work is heavy, but the reward is lasting, and you will reap the rewards with career success, with legacy success, with reputation success. When you embrace the Saturn lesson, stipulate those boundaries. Anyone that's showing you, being aggressive towards you, you don't deserve that. You're focusing on your sense of empowerment, and you will find success. Some of you, yes, can even find someone to get married during this point in time if you're single, especially if that person embraces your independence. Like, this is going to be that person, like, you should be independent, to go for your independence. Yes, you're building legacy. Remember that. And that's what you need to keep in mind. What you'll be remembered for. Your life is of value. Time is limited. Saturn teaches that. What will you do with your time? How will you add value to this world? And how will you show up in this world? Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I'll respond to you down below in the comments. Leo, after Saturn Pisces leave through you an emotional blunder of financial delay since 2023 and intimacy and secrets and power dynamics, Saturn Aries, it's good for you. Okay, you're fire sign. This is a fire sign. You might notice there might be a slow burn towards working with things, but it's better. Purpose, education, belief systems. Your worldview is maturing. So this means all beliefs will be tested. If that belief that you believe you're less than or you are lacking confidence, it will be stripped out of you so you can become more confident, right? Saturn asks you to take your beliefs seriously, turn wisdom into something practical. Some of you might develop a whole new spiritual practice, whether that's returning back to church or whether that is an astrology practice, something. Higher education as well calls to you. Return to school, a teacher, a mentor, building a platform, developing a spiritual philosophical mastery. This philosophical mastery that really is important to you. So you might return to school. You might learn like higher education. You might teach a course, write a course. You might travel a lot. This is about expansion, growth. You might meet people from different cultures. You might travel more during this period and exposed to different things that allows you to change the way that you think and perceive the world. The more people you expose to, the more your worldview expands. Great for publications, great for putting out something into the world, great for expansion and growth and asking yourself what sets yourself free and what has been limiting your success for all this time. This is really amazing energy as well. If you have any legal matters, take it slow and easy, because Saturn can also bring legal matters to light. So slow and easy, practical, strategically, don't fight and be impulsive, and you will find success. This is also really great energy for, just seeking out ways to expand through exploring different avenues and having an adventure. The more adventurous you can be with this energy, even though it's slow and strategic adventure, the more success you will find. And this is really an amazing time for you to really embark on, your spiritual journey. as well. There's a very spiritual energy. Some of you might even find a guru, a teacher, a mentor, or decide to become one yourself, or be asked to share your expertise in your field of study. And this is where you are the teacher. The wisdom you have now is potent and powerful and is meant to be shared. And this is also, as you do so, you're going to shift your beliefs about your wisdom. And this is going to grow you beyond measure. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Now, Virgo. I really hope you learned the lessons of Saturn in Pisces since 2020, which showed you the truth and reality about your one-on-one partnerships, personally, professionally, and any contracts, whether that's a spouse, a work contract, any contract within your life. It would have showed you the truth. And anything that remains would only be able to remain because it was on a strong foundation. If you chose to turn a blind eye during that Saturn transit, Saturn Aries is not going to play with you. This is transformation, truth, power, and intimacy. This is sometimes known as the dark night of the soul. Okay, why? Because this is the transit that pushes every single fear, every traumatic experience, everything hidden into your face. What triggers you will be triggered. This is your psychology. It taps on that. That's why it's called the dark night. So it literally scares you sometimes so that you can seek out support. So whatever traumatic betrayal, anxiety, mental distress, it all comes back. And it comes through intimate relationships you trusted, or financial situations you thought would pan out but didn't. Whoop! This brings in major healing for you. So you might seek out a therapist, you might seek out alternative healing, you might tap in more into occult practices, meditation, manifestation, witchcraft. This is all that energy. Ancestral healing. This is where you're doing ancestral healing. That's why it's deep. It's ancestral healing, right? Anything. This is everything occult, hidden knowledge that you tap into to heal yourself. And yes, it can be psychology. Some of you might even decide to study psychology. This is the deep internal alchemy where you take a bad situation, everything falls apart, and you have that towel moment, whatever that was on a weak foundation, it falls down and you stand up and grow like so much stronger. Now, if you have done the work over the past 3 years and you set anything loose that was keeping you stuck and stagnant and you saw the truth and you said goodbye, good for you. But now, if you haven't done that, this is when this test becomes really hard. But if you have, this is where you're working towards financial stability. You're working on people you slowly can trust. You've seen the harsh truths about Saturn in Pisces. Now you're like, okay, I need to have stronger boundaries. It can still trigger you with trust, but here you just seek out ways through spirituality to awaken the truths within you. This is about trust, vulnerability, shared resources. If you share resources, household expenses with someone, this is going to show the reality with that situation. It might limit your resources just so you can see that, hey, this person needs to pull their weight. It's about self-maturity here, your self-maturity when it comes to your financial resources, and intimate choices. It's about maturity too within your intimate choices. It's about taking time before becoming intimate, right? The Saturn Aries, it's slow. And, you are learning self-empowerment on the deepest level. All attachments fade away. Control patterns are confronted. Fear of loss is faced. You emerge stronger, wiser, and more sovereign. This can also be a process of death, loss, grief, inheritances, investments, insurances. All of those things come to light here where you're going to have to work harder on those things. Yes, it can bring death. This is the area where we can lose someone and have to deal with inheritances. This is where it can be deeply emotional. And if it's not someone we lose something financially, and then we have to deal with the emotional consequences of that. If it is betrayal, it is that traumatic energy of psychology that we become psychologically empowered through facing our deepest trauma and pain and suffering. It is the dark night of the soul. That's why spiritual connection and connecting to spiritual healers will help assist you on your journey. Trusting your intuition will be the biggest thing. The more you ignore your intuition, the more you will learn the lesson and learn it quickly. This is Saturn Aries. It takes time to work on finances, but it'll give you that lesson on time. Okay. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call to don't you want financial success? Don't you want to see your investments grow? Don't you want to see that passive income? Don't you want to see that business that you're going into grow? Well, working on over the next couple of years, you can see that happen, but you're going to have to trust yourself. How do you trust yourself? Look at your intimate relationships first. If you feel that you can't trust that friend or that spouse or someone, but you switch it off, you won't be able to trust yourself in business. You got to learn to trust your intuition first. When you don't trust someone, and don't switch it off, so that you can learn to trust yourself and your intuition. We develop trust with ourselves when we keep promises to ourselves. We develop trust with ourselves when we trust our intuition, period. When we don't trust our intuition, it's like silencing our inner voice, but then we want our voice to go when it comes to the things we want to create in our financial success. Even if you're not starting a business, you want financial success, but you don't listen to your inner voice. Come now. This is Saturn Aries. It's about maturity. Listen to the voice within you. You are important to Saturn Aries. Okay? Do comment your placements down below. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you in the comments. Hello, Libra. This is Saturn Aries, and this is a Saturn opposition for you. Relationships, commitments, boundaries. Hopefully by now you've learned the lesson of people pleasing and how it sucks. Okay? You are not a doormat. And I know you, Libra, you are friendly, so you always extend the hand. But once they slap the hand away, lesson learned. Don't keep extending that hand, babes. It's only going to worsen the situation with Saturn Aries. A lot of your relationships will be bullies, aggressors, attention seekers, demand your attention, want your attention. This is Aries. I want your attention right now. Oh, you don't put enough into this relationship. Aggressive energy too. Some of you might be met with emotional, physical aggression, especially in your one-on-one relationships. Boundaries are necessary. Strategy is necessary, and so is justice. If anyone crosses a physical boundary, it's justice immediately. Law and order. Saturn is exalted in Libra, so that's exactly what it is. This is where you need to stand your ground. If anyone tries to push your boundaries, you stand firm on them. No means no. If you're getting offended that I said no, then you don't respect my boundaries because I just said no. What more do I need to say to you? I don't need to say anything else to you. Saturn is limit that relationship. You might even find yourself restricted from partnerships during this time. Only stable, solid partnerships will last. You will only be married going forward to someone that respects your boundaries. You will only meet someone that will respect your boundaries. If you start a relationship now and that person over these next 2 years don't respect your boundaries and becomes an aggressor, that will be a crisis within your relationships. And Saturn's going to teach you how to be strong and be the warrior and stand your ground and get away from any relationship that tries to control, dominate, or manipulate you. And you are a Libra, so relationships sometimes try to dominate. This is Aries. They try to control. Partnerships become serious, and so does business. It also involves your business partnerships. Saturn tests your relationships for longevity. If this relationship doesn't have what it takes for years to come, say goodbye. It takes Saturn 30 years to come back to a sign, plus or minus. So best believe longevity of a relationship, personally and professionally, is important. You will only connect to people that's going to last now for years and years. People that aren't will fall away. Personally, professionally. Work bonds will dissolve, especially if they're weak, and also personal. If they are weak, they dissolve. Strong ones deepen. You learning healthy boundaries, mutual accountability, what community truly means. This is about choosing partnerships that support growth, not comfort. Relationships that teach you to be independent and embrace your independence. Yes, because you're independent, Libra. As much as you are a partnership sign, you are independent. And if you depend too much on someone, this will also show you that you need to be independent. You're redefining love. You're redefining collaboration, personally and professionally. And only the relationships that offer you the success, that are not weak, will remain. You will see the truth and the harsh reality about relationships, personally, professionally. Sometimes some of you might be bullied at work. You're going to have to be very serious about this. Boundaries are necessary. You go now to build on serious relationships that honor and respect you and your autonomy personally and professionally going forward. This is Saturn Aries. It's not here to play games. It's maturity, and you learning maturity within relationships and taking accountability for where you give your power away within relationships. This is about you reclaiming your power and your strength. And the more you work towards stable, solid relationships, restrict out relationships that are weak, the foundations will just naturally collapse as you are now focusing on stability and peace. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you in the comments. Oh, Scorpio, this is Saturn Aries, and it's going to influence work, health, and routine. Some of you are going to suffer health crises, especially when you push yourself too hard. You will learn the meaning of burnout and become mature about this and stop doing it. Okay, this is Aries energy. So you push when it comes to your work. You're going to learn that that is not the way. You push yourself way too hard, and you're going to learn that's not the way. You got to slow down. Your lifestyle is being rebuilt. Your day-to-day routine is being rebuilt. If you're not sleeping well, eating well, taking care of your health, you will see how this influences your productivity. You're going to have to change your whole lifestyle. Lifestyle change. If you're spending too much of time on the road and maybe it's taking away from productivity, you're going to learn how that needs to change. You need to find a better route to work. Every change that's happening is necessary for your productivity. You're going to find yourself feeling restricted and heavy weights and burdens and more responsibility put with you on your work life. So you got to maintain health and productivity and follow a routine that allows for you to be able to take care of your responsibilities at work as well as with services to others. Meaning that people are going to ask you for your help, and they're going to ask you because they feel you're responsible. Boundaries are necessary if people are over asking you and making you extend yourself too much, because burnout is real, right? You're going to create sustainable routines. Take health seriously. Your health crises are very prominent for you right now. So take it seriously. So it's important for you to do so. You might be more reliant at this point in time on family and strong emotional foundations, or anyone that you can share your emotional feelings with openly, because your routine needs to change. Improve time management. If your time does not feel like your time, baby, improve it. It's your time. It's your life. This is Saturn. It's saying if you waste your time, I don't know. It's gone. You can't get it back. Wait for your next life. If you believe in that, you know what I mean? That's Saturn. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Waste your time, waste your life. It's your life. This is where you learn about time management. This is when you learn about priorities. This is when you learn about people who ask too much of your time and take your whole routine to out of whack, and now you are stuck. You're going to see open enemies. People will be more aggressive with you when you say no and you're not helpful. People expect you to be helpful. They see you as the leader, the responsible one. Help. Boundaries. Okay, because they are going to be aggression. Open enemies will be very much in your face. And these are aggressive open enemies. It can be open enemies at work. It can be open enemies within your day-to-day routine, within your environment. These people are aggressors. And they are going to be aggressive when they feel envious of you, when they feel that you're not offering your help or services at ease, at willy-nilly to them. Boundaries. This is warrior energy. This is where rules, regulations are in place, and you do what you got to do, and your independence is necessary to you. And that's what you tell people, because you right now have to be independent, and the weight of the world is on your shoulders, with Saturn Aries influencing your work, health, and routine. And when you push yourself too hard, burnout hits, and your health is the price. Let me tell you something. Health is wealth. Remember that. Now to come into placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Sagittarius. Saturn Aries is going to test you when it comes to joy, happiness, and romance. And this can be quite depressing, because when Saturn is here, it's heavy. It's like you need to be responsible for your happiness. And you're going to be very aware of what takes you away from joy and happiness. So it is harmonious, because in the essence, you're just going to look for what makes you happy, right? But it's going to show you what takes away from your happiness. Some of you might even become pregnant. There's Saturn influence in the area of fertility, so responsibility, like becoming pregnant with child. This is about romance as well. So if a romantic relationship is not true, you'll see it and it'll fall away over these next 2 years. You are building what makes you truly happy. Ask yourself, does this bring me happiness? Is my joy? It's great for becoming an entrepreneur. You can work hard towards that. It's great for working hard on a hobby, learning a hobby, all of these things. It's about self-expression and confidence. It's going to make you feel unconfident, so you can learn to become confident, like strongly confident within yourself. Your passions want structure. Your passions can't be all over the place. You can't be starting things and not following through. It wants structure. Sun asks you to treat your creative gifts with respect, reverence, and give it the time it deserves, because where we give time is what we value. So Sun wants time for your creativity. When it comes to romance, if that person's a time waster, bye. You're going to notice a lot of aggression when it comes in your romantic situations. Boundaries are necessary. And if this person doesn't respect you, it's time to walk away, right? Turning hobbies into skills, building confidence through practice, mature approaches to love. Joy becomes intentional. It's not something that just happens. You need to really focus now on bringing joy into your life. What makes me happy? What do I need to do? What structured plan do I need to take? And I know you're a Sagittarius and you love to be willy-nilly. And this is the area of where, you can just jump into hey, let's do this. It's, it's Aries, it's quick, it's like inspired, it's impulsive. You have to not be so impulsive. You might even feel a bit more of a risk taker and a gambler at times when it comes to your fun. And you ask to stop that. And I don't mean literally gambling. It's like impulsive fun. When you need to be more strategic about your fun, right? Otherwise, accidents can happen. Seriously, Mars is sometimes blood, and Saturn will teach you lessons when you act impulsively when it comes to fun. Try to find fun that's strategic and joyful, that gives you harmony and peace within your life, right? The opposite sign, Libra. And it's really, really the energy of finding, what true happiness means to you. And if that person takes you away from your happiness, tries to dampen your spirit, move away from them. If that person makes you feel unconfident, if people are being envious because of your sense of confidence, move away from them. Be with people that build you up, not break you down. Emotionally, in romantic relationships, in the areas of joy and pleasure and happiness, do so. If people are trying to stifle on your happiness, whoever they may be, they're not the one for you. They're not the person that should be in your life. This is also about impulsivity. Like I said, you're going to need to be more strategic with your happiness. Don't just impulsively, I need to go on a trip here. Financially, it'll cost you. Like this sound teaching you about rate it in a little bit. Not a lot. I'm just saying have a plan. It'll be best. It'll work out well for you. I can promise you that. You can see things, falling into place. You're going to find connecting to different people and unique perspectives will help you. And thinking about your future during this period will really help you. A lot of you can launch a successful business. A creative hobby can turn to a business. Something, like I said, will become parents during this period. Responsibility when it comes to fertility. If you are trying and there's delays, and says keep working at it, find a way, right? That's what it is. If there are delays, because signs can bring delays in fertility as well. But then at the same time, sign can also bring responsibility to children. This can also teach you about your childhood and childhood experiences, and you might even go back to places of childhood to reminisce on fun that you once purely enjoyed when you were light-hearted and youthful. And this is just to inspire that joy within you. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you in the comments. Capricorn. Capricorn, we have Sun influencing home, family, and emotional foundations. This is depressing. It's Saturn. It's heavy, and you are ruled by Saturn. So you know about this heavy weight of Saturn. It's going to sometimes emotionally bring you down, make you face the reality about your home, your family, and your living situation. Saturn can make us feel poor in an area, poor with family, poor with emotional experiences. What do I mean by that? Maybe the home that you're living in, you can't afford it and you need to move to something smaller. You got to downsize. That's Saturn. It's minimal, right? Stripping down. This is also going to show you the realistic, truthful reality of your family and family connections. You're going to have to establish boundaries. There's going to be a lot of family fights and aggravation. This is Saturn Aries. It's very malefic. It's also going to bring up wounds of family past where they will have arguments and fights that will be brought to the surface. You rebuilding your roots and emotional foundation. So you got to look into the past, and you're also healing family ancestral karma when it comes to fights and lack of boundaries and aggression and tension and impulsivity within the family. You're healing family wounds, creating emotional stability. Some of you might even seek out a counselor, therapist, someone, an emotional healer, some form of healing work to help you. You're redefining what home means to you. This is about internal security. You're becoming your own safe place. That's what you're going to notice first. And some of you can get married during this period. Like you can, if someone respects your independence, it respects your leadership style, you can get married. But if you're living with someone and there's fights and tensions, it creates separations within homes. Maybe your child will move out if there's been fights with your child. Maybe your spouse will move out if you and your spouse have been fighting. Or you're living with a roommate, you decide to move out. Separations within homes, separations within families can happen during this period. It will show you the reality about the people you live with, the emotional connections within family, and emotional connections you have with people that you cherish within your heart. This is a reality check on your heart and where you give your emotional love to, who you nurture, and who truly nurtures you. This gives you that, and it can be deeply heavy. Like I said, fights will happen here. It's Saturn Aries, so fights and having to learn to stand your ground and becoming strategic and not impulsive in anger, but strategic in the way you maneuver yourself will help you. It'll teach you about when you feel too impulsively angry, and it's Saturn, it's karmic. So if you treat family unfairly with too much of rules and regulations, you'll be met with karma. If they're treating you this way, the same will happen, right? You can buy a home during this period or sell a home. Saturn here is going to show that you can, like if you've been choosing, like maybe you downsize and then you start saving money to buy a home, you can definitely do that. Maybe you are building a home. This is where you can find your home complete in the next 2 years. This is where you're building solid structures. This is where you decide to start a family, but you are basically building it on solid structures. But like I said, anything that's on a weak, so if you are engaged in this marriage or engagement is on a weak foundation, it will fall apart. Saturn will show you the reality about the emotional connections that you have. And this includes people you introduce to your family. Like I said, boundaries will be necessary the most with family members. You're going to see power dynamics, aggressions, tensions, conflicts. It's Mars. And having to learn how to also manage your own internal anger, because this is Aries, and Aries is influencing your emotions. So learning to work with your anger and not act impulsively, but become strategic with anger and come up with a plan that is not you getting into drama, but more you just stipulating boundaries and holding firm with your boundaries. Now, do comment your placements, your birth chart's unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Aquarius, this is going to bring a lot of tensions when it comes to communication. People might want to fight with you or pick fights with anyone you communicate with, including siblings, neighborhoods, your environments. Boundaries are necessary. This is Saturn Aries, and there is a bit of aggression through communication. So verbal combat will be a thing with other people at this point, including neighbors, siblings, environments, and just people you communicate with in general. It can be online, it can be in person. This is communication. Now, Saturn is restructuring your communication style, learning to speak with authority, stability, and creating that boundaries within communication. That line shouldn't be crossed. It doesn't need to go there. Say what's necessary. If you've got nothing good to say, don't say anything. You'll also be tested with your own aggression mentally. Things that upset you now might play a lot more in your mind. Write them down, release them, burn the page, right? Your mind is sharpening. Saturn teaches you how to communicate with precision and intention. What you say now carries weight. It might come across so harsh or aggressive because Saturn is in Aries and it is your communication. This is a great time to write a book, teach, learn something, study, build a platform, find a community, take up leadership roles within your neighborhood, be the person that takes responsibility when it comes to your siblings. Especially, your words carry a lot of authority right now. Speak with purpose. It's great for contracts. It's great for deals. It's great for negotiations. You are now going to see contracts that come in that will last for years and years to come. It's great for networking. It's great for opportunities for building success through sales as well, because what you say carries weight, and how you use your words will seal the deal. Now, do comment your placements. Your birth chart's unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Pisces. Saturn was in your sign and was redefining who you were over the past 3 years with Saturn in Pisces. So who are you and what you want to take with you going forward? Now Saturn is officially in Aries from February 13th until the 12th of April 2028. You've experienced Saturn Aries last year, May of 2025 until September of 2025. What will people fight about? Money, resources, skills, talents. This is where you're going to see a lot of competition, and people want to fight with you based off money, resources, skills, talents, your time. Yes, time. Because time is a resource and what you hold valuable. There can also be some family disputes. This is the moment in time for you to work on your own time. So stipulate boundaries on who you give your time to. Time management will be important. This is a time where money, values, and sense of self-worth play a big role. You might notice a restriction on earning, a restriction within your bank account. Maybe you got to work harder to secure that income. The harder you work, the more the payoff is. You're restructuring how you earn money. You're restructuring your skills. This means you might up your skills, learn new skills. This is where you're going to be changing what you do in order to earn more. This is where you're going to look at your money and seeing how can you earn more. This is your success. The relationship with abundance is maturing. This is going to also help you put stipulations on who you give money to, because sometimes you can impulsively spend. Aries is influencing your money, so sometimes you can just buy. You ask not to stop. Stop it and think about it. Be strategic in your spending. Be strategic in your money habits. Be strategic in your earning potential. Value your skills and talents. Ask for more. Get that raise. Go for that promotion. Work more so you can earn more. If you're working for yourself, find ways that you can earn more while, especially because of time. Like, what can you do in your time where you can earn more? This is really great for building financial stability, clarifying your values, and strengthening your sense of self-esteem, and seeing yourself as worthy of financial earning, and seeing yourself worthy of earning the success that you desire when it comes to your financial wealth. This is not for settling for less. If you settle for less, you will get less and less and less. Saturn equates to poverty. So if you don't see yourself worthy here, you are going to feel like you're poor all of a sudden. Do not complain about money. Saturn will give you more of what you complain about, because Saturn doesn't care about your complaints. Hard truth, but it doesn't. Saturn cares about one thing. Okay, this is the problem. What is the plan to fix the problem? Come up with a strategy. Independence. Financial independence is the name of the game. You're a Pisces. You can't rely on other people. Your earning potential depends on you. What can you do, Pisces? This is about your financial independence, your planning. Where do you need to cut out? Who's asking for too much of money? This is not about spending. If something is asking for too much money, go and research. If it's, say, insurance, you're going to look at this insurance, that insurance, this insurance. Who's going to give me less money? Okay, who's going to ask for less but still give me good service? You're going to look at your finances and what you're spending and seeing how you can make it more valuable for you. What is value? This is where you're going to find what you truly value. This is where you're going to eliminate the junk out of your life. Literally, you're not going to be settling for less, period. If people want less, when they offer you less, you're going to be like, no, I don't think so. I need more. This is your growth. It's your financial security, and this is where success can come into your life. You're going to find, after these 2 years, financial opportunities for success are going to be what you've been working on, and you will reap the rewards. You are learning to treat yourself like an asset. And when you treat yourself like an asset, people want to pay you more. Okay? You're not a liability, you're an asset. You have something to offer. You are value. And when you see yourself a value, I promise you success will be yours. And you're learning to value yourself more. And you'll be very aware of who doesn't value you. So when people start fighting about money, time, and all these resources that you apparently have, this is when you're like, no, here's the door. I value myself. I know my worth. Right? And if a company is doing this to you, if people are trying to pay you less, this is where you're like, no, this is my worth. This is what I want. This is what I can do. And this is how I shall achieve success. Now do comment your placements, your birth charts you need to, and I will respond to you down below in the comments.